Yo, what's good, Spirit Squad? Today we're going to be looking at Azorius Midrange Spirits, kind of the complementary piece to the Mono Blue Spirits video we just put out. This deck, instead of being a very tempo-y mono blue shell with things like Curious Obsession and a shit ton of creatures, this list instead is looking to play more of a mid-range game, where you have some game against a little bit of everything, and the cards in your 75 are really geared towards the top of what the metagame's doing. So, in this list, for example, we have a really reduced creature count when compared to traditional spirits lists. We're only playing 19 creatures. Because we're not trying to play cards like Curious Obsession, there's nothing like an Ascendant Spirit anywhere in this list, and we're only playing 2 Spectral Sailors instead of the normal 4. The trade-off is that we get some cards that are really hard for decks like Izzet and Rakdos Midrange to take care of. We've got 4X Wedding Announcement, we've got a Wandering Emperor, a couple of Invasion of Gobakons, and conveniently, a protection from vampires, Catilda in the main, with one more living here in the sideboard. We've got 4 copies of No More Lies and 2 Spell Pierces, which really isn't that much different from a deck like Mono Blue. They play, some Spell Pierces and then some Geistlight Snare instead of No More Lies, but we still appreciate a 2-mana counterspell that conveniently exiles the thing that they're trying to cast. So if you get to No More Lies, for example, a Memory Deluge from Blue-White Control, you're pretty happy about exiling that thing. This is also going to be a Smuggler's Copter deck because that card is fucking broken, and why would you not play the broken cards whenever you have the opportunity to? We're also going to have 2 copies of Invasion of Gobakon in the main, with a 3rd one living here in the sideboard, and then some real removal in the form of a couple of copies of Get Lost. Our lands, we're actually going all the way up to 23 lands in this list because we want to make sure that we're hitting our land drops for our increased number of 3 drops and our 4 drop. To that end, we're also going to be playing only 1 copy of Mutavault in here, but I did manage to sneak a Hall of Storm Giants in here anyway. Anybody who's in the Discord knows that I am absolutely in love with this card, and it's a really sweet one-of. It doesn't always come up, but when it does, it comes up pretty big. Our sideboard has some decent amount of fun here and a new tool, which is actually why we're looking to make a whole video about this today. We've got the normal 4 copies of Portable Hole in case you want to get frisky with things like Ledger Shredder or any aggro decks that are still rolling around. A couple of copies of Rest in Peace. These primarily have Phoenix's name all over them, but as you saw in the last video with Mono Blue, decks like Greasefang can and will still exist. A second Catilda, we mentioned that. 3 copies of Mystical Dispute, and this has a lot of jobs right now. Again, mentioning Ledger Shredder, but Blue-White Control is one of the best decks in the entire format, and when you combine Mystical Dispute with the Invasion of Gobakons that are chilling over here, we've got a pretty robust anti-Blue-White package. A couple of copies of Settle the Wreckage help against the Boros shell specifically. We don't really want to be dealing with things like Convoke and Heroic, and while Settled Wreckage isn't necessarily the best card in the world, it does help to solve those exact problems. So if those Boros decks are a thing that you're facing all the time, maybe consider Settle. Now, the new thing is going to be Cryptic Coat, which is a really exciting card, and I'll actually move my avatar out of the way real quick. There we go. So now we can read Cryptic Coat. So this thing's going to be 2 and a blue for an equipment that cloaks the top card of your deck, attaches itself to it, and then that creature gets +1/+0 and can't be blocked. So unblockable is already really good, and 3 power is conveniently the exact amount you need to clear out an Invasion of Gobakon. So that's an extra nice little bonus to the Cryptic Code here. But the cloaked creature gets Ward 2, which is also exciting, especially when you're looking to already embarrass things like spot removal. It's kind of hard to deal with both the Cryptic Code itself and the cloaked card at the same time. And God forbid you get to cloak a card right. And that card is a spirit. So imagine a scenario where your opponent's trying to kill it with, I don't know, say a Fatal Push. Now, they have to pay for the Fatal Push, pay 2 copies for the ward, and then you can flip it up. Maybe it's a 3-drop that they don't have Revolt yet. Well, that's going to look pretty good for your anti-removal package there. But let's say they do have the removal, then you can still protect the thing with Rattle Chains. And now they've paid extra mana to still not kill anything. Pretty exciting when it's a ward thing. But even in the event that it's not a creature, you still get to just go, okay, here's a Cryptic Coat, and every turn in the late game, I now get to pay 2, return Cryptic Coat to your hand, play it again, and now you actually get to just make more 2/2s every single turn that you get to do this. So if you find yourself with a lot of lands in play, Cryptic Coat is a great way to actually do something with all of that extra mana. So I'm really excited to play with these cards. Anyway, that's enough jibber jabber. I'll see y'all in round 1. Today's video brought to you by FusionGamingOnline.com, your one-stop shop for all your gaming needs. Okay, first round's here. Oof, yikes. We are definitely mulling that, especially on the draw. This hand is way better. I want to get rid of, I suppose, the Get Lost? Yes? Alright, so we're going to get rid of the Get Lost here, keeping a curve of like 1 mana thing, counterspell, and way to recoup card advantage, which is not happening. Goodbye wedding announcement. Nice knowing you. And there it goes. But a Smuggler's Copter's a really good draw off the top. All right, I love that for us. So let's see which black deck they're playing. Nykthos, we're playing against Devotion again? Dude, we just played against Devotion in our last video. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Hengate Pathway on white. Let's get an attack in, and what is relevant at 3? Phyrexian Arena / Liliana? I don't particularly want either of those things to resolve. Do I care about those more than I want Copper to be a thing? Arena, yes. Liliana, I care less. No, because I can just play the Spectral Sailor. I'll just let it rock for a turn. Okay, so they're just going to go ahead and level 2. That's, I guess, fine. But knowing that this is the deck that we're playing against makes me a little sad that we don't have access to this wedding announcement. They got rid of a Gary, which is pretty big. And a Supreme Phantom off the top. I love that too. Nice. So we're just gonna go aggro here, make them take 5, and this can protect against most things that they would want to point at this, or I can Smuggler's Copter and set myself up for a better turn 4. I think that is what I want to do. A Fatal Push towards our Spectral Sailor. We can't really do much about that. It is what it is. And Invasion of Gobakhan. Look at us go. All right. So, or I guess look at us go, Bakan. Anyway, they've got 1 pip here, and that's it for now, which means I care the most about, I guess, honestly, none of this, if I'm keeping it super real. But I suppose the Gifted Aetherborn gives them the most potential to get back into the game, because if I can Supreme Phantom, then I don't really care about Meat Hook Massacre. How true is that? No, that's not necessarily true. I want Meat Hook Massacre gone. So we're going to go ahead and do this, and we're going to clear the invasion and see what we draw off the loot. Is it a land? It is not, which means Supreme Phantom can stay. So now we're going to flip this into Light Shield Array, and it looks like just the regular Spirits plan is going to be what we want to do here. If they spend a turn not drawing a land and instead Thought Seizing, that's fine by me. I can just flash in Spectral Sailor, let them take this, untap, and then start attacking as I want to here, knowing that this can pump me up. And if they're going to miss lands, then I don't really care that I'm missing lands. I'd rather have gas than lands in this scenario right now. Like, them taking a turn to play this doesn't super matter. This is annoying, but not so much after I get a turn or 2 with Light Shield Array in play, because I'll outpace the 2 life linking damage. So I feel pretty good about this. Ooh, poor opponent seems to have missed another land drop. Don't really love that for them. I mean, sucks to be them, but that's not on me, right? So we're going to go ahead, play the Supreme Phantom here, knowing that I've got a Spectral Sailor in hand. I want to crew the Copter using the Phantom that just came in, and we can attack for 7. Yes, I want to loot, and I don't mind getting rid of a land here because I've already got the specs that I want to play more than a wedding anyway. So we'll just end turn, power up, and life seems pretty okay. Our 3 lands are better than their 2. All right, this time we get to be on the play. That's pretty exciting, and our hand is not bad. So chances are the Smuggler's Copter is going to be pretty happy to get rid of like the extra copy of No More Life, or No More Lies. I don't know why I said No More Life. And Mausoleum Wanderer protects from something like a Thoughtseize, so I'm happy about that too. Like, no real complaints so far. If this is vampires, I'll especially appreciate a Spell Pierce against something like a Sorin. And a Catilda, if this is vampires, is like super, super, super strong. So now deck, we just need a land. Land, please. Thoughtseize, okay. So they will see the 3 counter spells, and that probably means Catilda's going bye-bye, since they can't stop me from preventing their Sorin anyway. So they're probably going to just take the creature. They do. Okay. And we actually get a Mausoleum Wanderer. Okay. Oof. Oh, we have a choice here. I can play Mausoleum Wanderer, crew, attack, and loot. If it's a land, we're super into clear against anything that even smells like a Sorin. If I play this and miss on a land, and they resolve a Sorin into Vein Ripper, we basically lose on the spot. But I don't really want to not progress the game either, so I think I am willing to take this chance, even though I'm aware it could backfire something fierce. And it did. Shit. Alright, well, time to cuss. Hopefully it's not Sorin plus Vein Ripper. There's a land. Don't do it. Don't do it. Harvester. The rest, no, my wedding announcement. And I have to let him take it because I want it. I really need a land drop. And if I sacrifice this to counter the rest, then I already don't have a creature to loot with anyway. So damn it, Basic Plains. Yeah, all right, that's gonna happen. Yep, so there goes the wedding. And there was the land, it was there. Oh, I'm doubly sad now. Okay, whatever, it is what it is, cry later. So do I want to bother with, yes, I do. Okay. So I have my guaranteed 4th land drop, which does help me towards this because I need 5 lands for that anyway. I think I'm still going to discard the Pathway and play to see Chrome Coast though. Like, this gives me room to double counterspell anyway. I can eventually navigate towards this, and at least for now, my counterspells are still good. If this Spell Pierce isn't played this turn, it's probably correct to get rid of it next turn. Unless they're just killing this now, which looks like that's what they're doing. Okay. I only kind of mind that, I think. I would still love another creature to have this, but missing missing one of my wedding announcements. Okay. I thought I was missing 2 for a second. Yeah, whatever, you got that. You can lose the 2 life and go to 8. I can't stop them from resolving Thoughtseize anyway, so I might as well just not use a spell on it and let them take the 2. They'll take the Normalize, leaving me with an empty Spell Pierce, and it's kind of my job to rebuild from there and hope they don't have, like, I don't know, a Shieldred to resolve next turn. Absolutely not. Get the fuck out of my face. And what do we get? The Supreme Phantom. That's pretty good. So I will get to do this. I'm not going to use the loot ability because why would I just choose the Mulla card? They go to 5. And now if I see another creature, another Fable, okay. I was gonna say, if I see another creature here, I'm medium happy. Not what I wanted, but let's see what happens here. If this is a Fatal Push on the Copter, it simply is what it is, I guess. Okay, so that's good. It's not. Yes, I would like to draw a card, and I would love another Supreme Phantom. That's actively good. So now we do this, and I currently have 3 lethal threats in play. Can't complain too much about that. Okay, so they discarded only Blackleaf Glyphs, which means this card is something good, but apparently not good enough. Cool, we take those. So now we're going to go into sideboarding. I don't know which version of Black-Red Midrange we're playing, but the plan is relatively the same either way. So I'm going to side in a lot of my anti-midrange things, including the Cryptic Coats. I want the additional Catilda, because I still don't know whether they're what-you-call-it or not, vampires, and a 3rd invasion. And Supreme Phantom, I think, is actually like the worst card against really all of those versions of the deck. So we'll simply take those out. Okay, so game 2, that's better. Oh, that was disgusting. All right, so what do I want to do here? I want to get rid of Spell Queller and keep all of these, or do I want to get rid of specs? And if they play a Thoughtseize, they take Spell Queller, which is not really a card I super want here anyway. Yeah, all right, let's do that. So they Duress, which means they're going to take No More Lies or Gobakhan. I am a little sad if they take No More Lies, but Gobakhan, okay, I'm actually kind of okay with them taking Gobakhan. I do want a colored land so I can play this, but okay, confirmed vampires. So we do know which version of the deck they're playing. And now the fact that they left me with No More Lies is going to backfire on them because we can now actually do something about a Sorin. So we'll take the 1 here, go to 19, cry about that. And Preacher is something I still want to counter. So it's not like I'm shields down. I have mana for things like double Spell Queller here. And they do know about 1. Which, whatever. Don't know about the second one, which I love for me. So now I'll take this attack, go down to 18, and let's see what they want to do about anything here. I will jam the Spell Queller. If it's like a go for the throat, then I'll be glad that they used it on something that I don't really care if it sticks around or not. However, this is nice. All right, so let's get our attack on and see what happens from here. If it's something like, okay, I was gonna say if it's an end of turn go for the throw, then I think I'm just gonna let that rock. Sorin, I am going to protect with another Spell Queller. Hopefully I'm not looking at something like a go for the throw or, I don't know, a Rending Valley would suck. So opponent, if you're feeling super kind, you can just let me untap. That'd be great. Just let me untap. Let me woohoo! We actually got to untap. Sick. All right. So downside here is that they do have mana available to just cast Vein Ripper next turn, and I can't really do anything about that. But if they do, then at least I can get away with just like EOT cast Rattle Chains, untap, have instant speed Catilda. So that's not nothing. They're looking at that Spell Queller awfully hard. I don't love that for us. Stop looking at it. It's not here. Okay, so they are just going to cast a Vein Ripper. All right, so that is something that we potentially saw coming there. We're going to go ahead and play our Rattle Chains, and I guess it'll give itself X-Proof, whatever. I want to play you as a blue source here. Oh, damn, wait, mistakes were made. If I draw a Wandering Emperor, this actually fucked me up. So, whoops. So we're not going to attack. We're just going to pass. And now let's see what we can do. A Fable is fine. Well, I don't know about fine, but it's going to happen. Okay, so I will flash in Catilda. You do have the protection from vampires. You will end up being a 4/4. Unfortunate that it's not a 5/5, but I do get a free block. And if you have Go for the Throat, then I can at least Pierce. That doesn't play around Fatal Push. This does play around Fatal Push. So if I had blocked with Rattle Chains here, then they can Fatal Push the Rattle Chains and this won't die. This will only be a 3/3. But like this, if they try to go for the throw, I can still Spell Pierce it. So yeah. So I will go ahead, lose 4, they gain 4, and go up to 15. But my board now is pretty solid. I don't, damn it, they did have the Fatal Push for the Sorin. That sucks. So they're gonna get the Sorin back. I can't do much about that this turn. QQ, cry about it. And hopefully the last card in their hand is not another copy of Vein Ripper. That would really suck because we did mad work to get rid of that first one. No, is it seriously? Oh, fuck my entire life, right? Okay, well, that sucked. So here, I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and kill the Sorin because that's about all I can do here. Oh, opponent, your fucking mother. So I guess I'm just going to do this now. Oh, I could have gained another life. I'm bad. So they get to loot this card away if they really want to. I know whatever to me at this point. What did I got? Another Sorin. So now this thing gets lifelink too. I think we're going to go to game 3. That's unfortunate. Man, the fact that that was a Fatal Push specifically instead of a Go for the Throat. Real sad times. And we even tried to play around it too. Damn. Yeah, so I guess in retrospect, I was probably just supposed to block with Catilda, let their Vein Ripper stay on the table, and then just kind of rock from there. Yeah, alright. Alright, so this time we'll get to play first, and our hand isn't even bad. It's not necessarily perfect, but it's definitely not bad. I would appreciate 1 to 2 more lands, though. So we're going to go ahead and play our Hallowed Fountain tapped and see what they come up with. Okay, do we have a Thoughtseize or Duress? We have a Thoughtseize. Probably getting rid of Gobakhan. If not, then Catilda. Either way, that'll tell me what they're looking to deal with. Okay, they get rid of Cryptic Coat, which tells me that they are probably suiting up for a longer game. Fine by me. Let's see what they got. Double Vein Ripper as the only cards in their hand. Okay, so they're looking to top deck a potential Sorin here. But really any other card in their deck doesn't really do it. So, oh no, come on, deck, not like this. I am just going to give myself room for either No More Lies or Rattle Chains EOT. But another land is definitely what I want here. Dusk Legion Zealot, you got it. I'm just going to go ahead Rattle Chains in response to itself here. And this way I can protect it against Fatal Push even with the land drop here. So now, okay, they don't have it. Perfect. I love that for us. And I'm going to attack the Invasion here, go down to 18, and now they know that I have access to the Spell Queller, but I also have access to like Instant Speed Catilda. I've got No More Lies on deck here. I'm not going to play the Wanderer and block this. We don't really need to get cute. Okay, and that's not happening. So the card's really good, but I would rather not, if you don't mind. And obviously this helps us to get around something like a Cavern of Souls. Spell Queller does not actually counter anything, but they can Fatal Push this or Rending Valley this if they got it. Looks like they don't got it, and I love that for us too. So we're going to go ahead and make our land drop, and I'm going to attack you here and you to the face. This way, if their card is Fatal Push, they can't Fatal Push this, and I still get rid of this. If they Fatal Push here, it's whatever. If they Rending Valley here, then I cry. And it was, in fact, a Fatal Push. You can just have that, I think. Or do I want a Mausoleum Wanderer, hold up No More Lies, and do this? I think that's actually the play. I'm going to Mausoleum Wanderer. So Wanderer is going to get rid of the Fatal Push. I get to get rid of the Invasion. And both of my creatures get pumped, and I'm still holding up No More Lies. Yeah, that feels all right. And hopefully, by the time this next turn rolls around, they're a little too far gone for something like this Vein Ripper to super matter. And one removal spell doesn't do anything because I've gotten Light Shield Array active. So Again with the finger crossing. Untap. Specs is actually really good here because now I get to instant speed both Catilda and Specs, and this way, even with the Vein Ripper coming into play here, I get to just double creature untap attack for a lot, and this probably doesn't even matter. Like, I legit just don't think that matters. If they attack, I'll just take the 1, don't really care about that. Yeah, they block 5, take exactly 9. Sick. All right. Actually, they can't even block 5, duh. They block 4, take this, and lose. Hooray. All right. Match over vampires, we did it. Next round. Oh, Obosh. Okay. Well, I'm on to play against Obosh, and my hand isn't bad, right? I've got 1, 2, 3 in all responses. So at least that's a good start. But let's see if this is actually just mono red or whatever the hell else they might be doing. Okay, so it looks like it is just Obosh mono red. It could also be like some red green nonsense, but these decks are usually mono red. And there's a Soul Scar Mage. Okay. So not really much to do about that. Instead, what I'm going to do is just go ahead and get my attack on because I'm not blocking anytime soon. But if they come at me with like double 1-drop, like one of these in a Swift Spear, honestly, that's going to be a pretty bad thing. But if they don't really have a super relevant plan here other than to, like, I don't know, maybe removal spell this or even a Bonecrusher Giant Stomp, I'm pretty happy to have the curve of like No More Lies into Spell Queller and kind of going from there. So we'll see what happens. Oh, a thing that might end up coming up, actually. I will do this, by the way. The fact that No More Lies exiles is actually pretty good against specifically Fiery Impulse, because I'm sure it's going to come up where the opponent is going to want to have a Fiery Impulse at 3 instead of 2 damage, and it'll be pretty nice if that ends up being super relevant here. So I can just like Spell Queller whatever creature comes down. I don't know, maybe a Goblin Chain Whirler or something like that. And then I actually will Spell Queller this. I already don't want to deal with Monastery's Swift Spear as a whole, but it'll be pretty nice to get to like hopefully untap, play Invasion of Gobakhan, flip it, and maybe draw another 2-drop to help complement. And the fact that Mausoleum Wanderer is going to be 2 power now too also helps in case they actually have a removal spell that could kill this. The chances of that are super low right now, but this is nice insurance just in case. And if they attack, I am definitely not blocking. Another Ramunap Ruins. Okay, noted. No chance in hell am I ever trying to block that. If they want a Monstrous Rage, they just can. And they didn't even have a Monstrous Rage, so that part's pretty good for us. So let's see what comes out of main phase 2. A Light Up the Stage, you can have that. Mountain plus a Lava Runner. Okay. So they can't play the Mountain this turn. But Lava Runner's not bad for them. A No More Lies is actually kind of excellent. So let's play you as a blue land here. I'm gonna Invasion of Gobakhan. Show me your moves. Oh, ha 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 ha! They actually had it. All right. So what do I want to do? I want to actually take the Monstrous Rage because I already have Bonecrusher Giant solved. So I'm gonna go ahead, do this, flip the Invasion, and have at least fairly decent amount of confidence that I can race them even with this flipping. So my guys are gonna go up to 2/2 and 3/4. This is gonna flip, and so far we're only looking at 4 damage currently, maybe 5, 6, or casting this, and I only have 1 spell, so this isn't even plus power yet. And No More Lies will actually stop this from 1 more thing as well, which is pretty nice. So all in all, can't complain too much. I might anyway, but right now I can't complain too much. And I think I'm being roped again because my opponent just didn't do anything and is letting some time chill on the clock. So I don't mind if they just don't even want to play against what we're doing. Yeah, if the Spirits deck is making the red deck quit in frustration, I'm pretty happy about where we are in life, right? And it's not even like we've done anything super extraordinary or special. All we did was just kind of play on curve. If they want a Bonecrusher Giant Stomp the Mausoleum Wanderer in response to this, I guess they're allowed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we just got an absentee opponent here. Looks like our opponent went to go get cigarettes. I guess we'll play another real round maybe. Let's see. Okay, next round's up. Let's see if we can actually play a real round this time. This hand is pretty medium on the draw. It does stuff. I think I keep this because so much of the format really is Thoughtseize right now. And I don't care if they take any of these 3 cards. And I don't even know if I care if they take either of these 2. So I think I'm just going to let it rock and trust my 3rd land drop to help get me into some semblance of a cohesive plan. Because if I mulligan this, at least like this hand's at least playable, right? But if I mulligan this and it turns out, Okay, so there's a Thoughtseize, and it turns out that I mull to 6 and then they Thoughtseize me like they just did, then really what am I doing with my life? Whereas at least currently I can actively kind of do something with my life. And a Smuggler's Copter certainly fits that description, right? Like this is definitely doing something. Whoa, Jund colors. Valki. Okay, I mean, you got some choices here. You can, you know, take one of these, but what are you doing here, sir? Are you lost? And now I know about the Copter too, but I was already casting that, so it is what it is. So I'm going to play you on white because any land can cast this, and I think I'm still just going to Copter here. So I am super curious as to what's happening. Is this just like some Jund mid-range deck, or is there something weird happening? Like, I don't know, blue land, release to the winds here. Please don't do that. Okay. Xander's Lounge? Oh, crap, it is a blue land. Okay. So we'll see if I was right about that, but I think I'm just going to pass here. What the actual fuck? All right. I look forward to seeing some hilarious horse shit here. And not for nothing, but the name Hakuho here, like, this looks really Japanese, and anybody who's been playing this game for like a decent amount of time knows, like, there are some wild fucking ideas out of Japanese players. Like, it is super fabulous to see at basically all times. Oh man, they did have a stomp. I was actually going to complain about specifically the idea of Bone Crusher Giant Stomp, and then it happened, so oops, but oh well. All right, and I can't really do anything about that, so I'm just going to let that rock, and my Mausoleum Wanderer can hopefully crew the Smuggler's Copter untouched with this next turn. Now what? Another stomp. Okay, so this time I at least get to fizzle it by sacking the Wanderer, but that doesn't necessarily make me happy. That isn't what I was aiming for. A Spectral Sailor. Okay, so I can Specs crew and hope to hit a land, or I can just hold this up and flash this in if nothing else happens. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Because like this doesn't necessarily look like a game in which I really care about casting Catilda. So I think I'll just be fine with this like this. And I will just go ahead and cast my Spectral Sailor now. Hopefully there's not another Bone Crusher Giant. If there is, QQ. And it looks like there's not. And actually a second Copter is a pretty decent choice as far as things to discard. So I'm pretty happy about that. Yes, I would like to do that, and I will pitch the Copter. And this is actually not bad either, because now a fourth land means that I can threaten to draw a card with Spectral Sailor as well. So, I don't know, that's cool. Still scared of this being, like, released to the winds, though. So, okay, you got it. We're not attacking, are we? Oh, shit, we are. All right, opponent choosing to attack wasn't really on the bingo card, but here we are. Hive of the Eye Tyrant, okay. Casting Bone Crusher. Ooh, would I rather draw a card? I think the answer is actually yes. So if I Spell Queller this, and one of these two is a removal spell that can kill Spell Queller, then they can actually free this and choose to cast Stomp here. That's really bad for me, so I'm just not going to do that. Instead, I'll just draw a card. No More Lies, a little late, that's okay. Here I want to just keep drawing and see what I can land. The Seachrome Coast, I can do this from, oh wait, Hive of the Eye Tyrant's up, never mind. I was gonna say I can discard this and then use its ability next turn, but I don't really know that that's on the table for us here. So instead, I'm just going to drop the Wedding Announcement. I think it's a little bit too late in the game for that to matter. Instead, I'll just cast Seachrome Coast and chill. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to just chill here. Like, they're probably done attacking with this. Hive of the Eye Tyrant can attack, and if it does, I can just flash and Spell Queller. These two can bump off each other, and that's whatever. Reading Pool, okay. So there's definitely Release to the Winds in here. We're casting another Valki. That's a trap. But I also don't really want it becoming Catilda. Okay, so the reason that I'm not Spell Quellering this is because if they kill the Queller, they can actually choose to resolve this as Tibalt. Instead, I can just let this part rock. They can still Catilda, and I just do this. So they can't, like, take a Spell Queller to make another very free 2/3. They can still go ahead and steal the Catilda and become a 2/2 Catilda, but I care a lot less about a 2/2, even if it's Catilda, than I do about a 2/3. And if they want to attack here and take me down to 12, that's what. God damn it. Oh, that's annoying. Okay. And I already know where one copy of my Get Lost is, right? I think they took that earlier. They did. So I just take this, go down to 12, effectively 10, and cross my fingers. Rattle Chains is not really what I wanted to see here. How the hell do we get out of this? I think the actual answer is that we just don't. Yeah. All right. We'll move to game 2. So this is neat. So basically this is just like Jund, but with what I assume is going to be a package of Valki plus Release to the Winds. So I'm going to sideboard as if I'm right about that. Yeah? Yeah. I think that's what I want against this deck. So things to look out for, they can play Mystical Dispute, but I really don't think they have the blue land count to do that, so I don't think I plan on that. They can play things like Rending Valleys, but if I make it past turn 1 with this hand, I don't really care about that so much. I can turn 1 Mausoleum Wanderer, turn 2 Rattle Chains in response to a Valki, so I don't have to let them steal anything. They can just play in 2-1. And then I can untap and start the Cryptic Coat train, so that works. And all of that currently dodges any Bone Crusher Giants too, because Wanderer's fucking broken. I now have a better plan. I'm just gonna attack you for a lot. Okay, Pedal to the Metal. So they can still Valki and take my Rattle Chains, but that is what'll happen. Okay, and my Mausoleum Wanderer does currently block any Release to the Wind shenanigans, so this turn might actually still be safe to just resolve my Cryptic Coat and call this shit a day. That is actually great insurance for later. I love that for me. So they go down to 14. I can Cryptic Coat here. And what's the scariest thing they can resolve here? What's my face down card? Get Lost. Aw, I wanted that. Okay. Deathcap Glade, what are you? Oh, you're Deserted Beach for black green. Okay. Fable. That is definitely a scary thing. I think with their life total only being at 14 though, I'm actually okay with this. Darker Waste isn't great, but it's not bad. So now they take 6, they go to 8, because this thing can't be blocked. And I don't think I touch anything else, so I just kind of let this rock. So they can drop 2, draw 2 if they want. And that's pretty good though, getting rid of 2 lands. Okay, Dragon Skull Summit, so they do have the blue source, but they also know about the Spell Pierce. So things like well, that's not going to do anything for you. Cool. So they can attack with this if they really want to. And I think I'm just going to get lost here and then cast it at end of turn so that I have lethal. So I'll take 2, go to 18, and let's see if this is going to resolve. Okay, cool. And now I know that I have Spell Pierce, so let's go to game 3. Do I want to change anything for game 3? I think the answer is no. So we're just going to proceed. But yeah, Valki plus Release to the Winds is fucking scary. Hand is, oh god, this is slow. What do I want to do here? I think I actually still want to keep this though, because like turn 1, tap land, turn 2, resolve one of my 2 copters, assuming only one of them gets thought seized, and then turn 3 and 4 both look fairly excellent, all of which currently dodges Valki's ability to discard. So like, never mind. I lied. So yeah, I think this hand's acceptable. It's not great, but I think it's acceptable. They can what? Tap land, take one of these, not even. Fatal Push or Mystical Dispute. Fuck it. If it's not a Spell Pierce, I don't care. And it looks like it wasn't a Spell Pierce. Okay. So what is this? A Fable. That's fine because I already didn't have an answer to Fable anyway, so why bother thinking about it? Here I'm just going to go ahead and Cryptic Coat, make a friend. The friend can be used as crew, and that is a Mausoleum Wanderer, which may come up later. Draw, drop. I'm going to drop the second copter here and pass. So things that I don't necessarily want to see include Thoughtseize plus Shieldred. I don't mind just Shieldred because I've got the Wandering Emperor. Thoughtseize is obnoxious, but they have to choose between Wandering Emperor and Invasion of Gobakhan. Okay, this thing can't be countered, right? That's the new one? Yeah, that thing can't be countered, so that's pretty dope for them, actually. That was a really sick choice of removal spell, by the way. So I'm going to go ahead and Invasion first, see what they have, and most likely I'll be able to use my Rattle Chains to flip. What in the fuck are all these 900 drops? Okay. I actually have to take the Elder Gargs. That sucks. That is so obnoxious. Okay. I cannot beat this card if it resolves. I mean, I can in theory, but it's got Vigilance. So Wandering Emperor is not a card that can beat it, as if I want to make a more accurate statement, I guess. And I don't want to walk into Bone Crusher Giant Stomp right now just to flip this. Yeah, no. And I wish this was one turn later so I could just have a 5th land drop. If I could cast Wedding Announcement and have this up, then that would feel a lot better. But that's not what we have. So I guess we, I don't know, complain. Evidence is 6, by the way, on that. Okay, nothing doing there. They have 5 of 7 lands required for Elder Gargs. Come on. Go find something to do. All right, so there's a Shieldred. Can't do much about that currently. And I will not be doing anything about her just yet. Okay, Specs is going to come in. And Specs can help me flip this, which is definitely on the list of things I really need to do. So we're going to go ahead and attack this here and this to your face. I will not be doing that. I don't want to walk into Shieldred's ability for no reason. I do, however, very much want to cast that. And at least my Wandering Emperor can get rid of Shieldred. So that's a good start. Does this get rid of Planeswalkers? It does. I'm okay with that, I think. Thoughtseize. Oh, your fucking mother. I mean, this sucks. All right. Jeez. I was really hoping to be able to use that. So they can take the wedding announcement, but at least they can't attack with Shieldred reliably this turn. They also can't really use Kiki-Jiki right now, because I can still use this ability at the end of their turn if it really comes down to that. If they want a Kiki-Jiki here, okay, I was gonna say they can do that, but there's no way they attack with Shieldred this turn if they do that. They have a total of 4 mana, so they can use the end, and that is exile creature and basically cranial extraction too. Okay, so I have choices. I can make a token and use the token to block the real one of these. That takes this down to 2, and then they have to choose between Bonecrusher Giant stomping the token or this. I can exile this and simply let Wandering Emperor die, but they get to keep this. I think that is actually the way to go. I'm gonna get rid of this. So they have more mana than I can handle. I go up to 15. Wandering Emperor dies a very fiery death. I cry about that. And maybe I can draw into like a Get Lost for the Shieldred. That's rough, but not the end of the world. Another Copter is definitely not on the list of things I want to see. Okay, so I'm going to bounce coat, replay coat, use coat to fuel the Copter attack for something. Yeah, that seems all right. And if they want a Bonecrusher Giant, the Rattle Chains, then I can at least pop to Light Shield Array. I guess that's not nothing. Okay. Don't love it, but it happens. I would rather have seen my cards give me the ability to keep... Damn it. I wanted that too. All right. So what is this? 8 damage. They go to 7. They go to 9. Oh, crap. Whoops. Shit. Okay. Did not mean to draw that. I hope that doesn't matter. That might really end up mattering. I hope it doesn't. So yeah, so they go to 9. If they draw an untapped land, they can play this Elder Gargs here. And that's really bad for me if that ends up being what happens. They can also just like get rid of this, I guess, or use this. Either of those is okay. Either of those is better than this though. But I still feel fairly stupid for having drawn this card because that was just a misclick. That might lose me the game. I'm gonna draw another Cryptic Coat. Okay. I mean, I'm still losing to just like the end here, I think. Let's cast this Invasion, make them use it now so that whatever they target, I can at least screw here. Unfortunately for me, 8 is not 9. And they're gonna take all the Rattle Chains out of my things now. Yeah. So now I can ignore the Devious Cover-Ups and instead take a Glissa? Does that even matter? I mean, not really, but whatever. It is the thing they can cast, I guess. Graveyard, hand, and library, but not battlefield. Destroy all creatures on battlefield. Okay. I want to attack with just this. Gotta think. If I attack here, they go to 5, and I can't kill. Even if they cast this, I get to untap and you bounce and replay one of these. I still can't kill them. So I should do this, flip, give myself the ability to either kill over the course of 2 turns or simply bounce this and do these shenanigans as necessary. My opponent still needs 2 lands to be able to absolutely not, and now my Copter can be a 5/5. Okay, so they go to 11. 5. I have 11 currently, so if I survive this turn with all my creatures intact, then I can just win. If their only choice is to play Glissa, I can win. If they do this, then I'm in a better position than I was before because I'm not looking at Shieldred. So I think we've given ourselves some of the... Fuck you, opponent. What? That sucks. Oh, no. Oh, come on. That is absolutely abysmal for me. Okay. And I actually have to just do this and use my Light Shield Array. Because this still gives me the out of drawing a Get Lost here. What are my cards? No More Lies and Invasion. Okay, untap. All right, gotta draw for my turn. Immutable. That's not gonna do it. Yeah, because they can block this with the Elder Gargs. I can't draw. Fuck. All right, well, we lost. That sucks. Let's move on to one more real round of gameplay though, because yeah, those 2 little half rounds where my opponent went to go get milk, that's not it. GG's opponent. Right, last round of the day, we are gonna play first, and my hand is actually not bad. So I've got like a nice little specs into maybe a Get Lost or Rattle Chains into good 3-drop into good 4-drop, provided I draw lands. So, excuse me, can't complain too much about that. Rockfall Veil. What the fuck plays Rockfall Veil? All right. I'm going to give myself room to play the Rattle Chains if need be, rather than worrying about this Mausoleum Wanderer right now. Jund? Lucky Clover. Holy shit. We're playing against the Adventure deck? All right. Well, that's kind of cool. Haven't seen this in a really long time. This is actively... Oh, no. I don't have what you call it yet. Shit. I guess I'm just going to attack then. So I'm going to hold up an instant speed Mausoleum Wanderer so that I can counter any copies of whatever Beanstalk Giant's Adventure Mode is called. Edgewall Innkeeper. Okay, I can't do anything about that currently. I can cast this later, but I can't do anything about it now. And I don't want to get stomped out, so I'm just going to untap. Land? No? Fuck. All right. Not having a land here might actually get rid of me this turn, so I'm going to cry pretty hard about that. Not doing anything about this. Okay. So they're at 13, and navigating around this stomp without... There it is. So let's let them declare a target first, and the fake one I want to let resolve. The real one I want to not let happen. So this way they don't also get the Bone Crusher Giant half of the card. Oh, this is going to be really annoying. Like, the third land over here is, it's kind of killing me right now. Questing Druid. Okay. Come on. Boo. Please fuck up and double target. Dang. Oh, wait, they did. All right, sweet. Well, I got the thing I asked for last turn, but now it's super late for that. So if anything's gonna dig me out of this, it's probably Double Wedding Announcement, but oh fuck. All right, that's terrible for me actually. I don't mind the Questing Druid itself. I can deal with that over time. I guess I just do this and cross my fingers for the next turn or two. Is there any spell that punishes me here? White, blue, black, or red? The only black spell they would ever want to cast can already kill this. Same with red, so I'm going to attack. All right, more tokens. Okay, what are we doing with this turn here? Don't be a stomp on all 3. Oof. All right, well, that's pretty good. So now I get to draw 3 cards, lose 3 life. The losing 3 life thing may come up, but realistically, I am just kind of crying here. Murderous Rider. Okay, so they can actually kill all 3 of these, but to do so, they have to lose 6 life. So let's see if that's what they want to do. Okay, they're going to 3. I have showed them flyers. Okay, I was going to say, have I not showed them any spirits? I want to... I come out of this with a bunch of 2/2s, and there's no reason for me to play Supreme Phantom. I also don't necessarily want to Invasion of Gobakhan, so I think I just let this rock. So I'm going to come up with a couple of tokens here. The tokens are going to be 2/2s. I don't really have to worry about this just yet, but I can get rid of the life linker that they likely cast here with the Get Lost, and then I can untap and make an attempt to cross the finish line with just like what will be... Okay, so they can choose to -3. That'll kill these 3 things, and I can get lost here, and that is what's gonna happen. Okay, I wish I had an instant speed thing here. All right, it is what it is. Oh, come on, Dak, you're killing me here. This is gonna be a 2/4, so at least they won't be able to kill this with Chandra. They can technically tick down and kill this if they really need to, but it's gonna take a little extra work to get rid of exactly Supreme Phantom. And oh man, that sucks. They can put both fake copies on here and the real one on here and gain 9? Christ, or gain 6? I no longer think I'm getting out of this, y'all. Yeah, what the hell am I doing? Let's go to the next game. Why am I still playing? Okay, so against this deck, I don't really want to Get Lost. I don't really want Catilda. And I definitely don't want Wandering Emperor. Things that I do want include the portable holes for specifically Lucky Clover. I kind of want Invasion of Gobakhan here. Wedding Announcements are good, but a tad slow for my liking. So I don't know that I want to get rid of all 4, but I definitely don't know that I want all 4. And I think I'm good on Cryptic Coat here? Question mark. Yeah, I think I'd rather have Wedding Announcements than Cryptic Coat here. Okay, let's play first and our... Come on. That's technically better. Okay, so I'll do this. I'll ship the Iganjo. Or a pathway. What am I talking about? And pass. So ideally, I get to go They go tap land. I, on turn 2, get to play Rattle Chains, EOT, start attacking, and they play a Lucky Clover on their turn 2, so I can actually do something with that as well. If they just pass, then I think I have to just pass. And looks like they are just going to hold up Bone Crusher Giant, so I'm just going to have to let that rock. Okay, so I'm going to play you as a white land and pass here. Now, if they decide to Questioning Druid is fine. They have land, okay? So they can only play one of those, right? Until your next end step. Yeah, so you can just play the Copperline Gorge. But at least now I can cast specs and then protect it with Rattle Chain, so like that's a real plan. Witherbloom Apprentice. I don't like that for me. I can get rid of it with Portable Hole, so like it's honestly fine. But oh, that's actually good. But I've played enough Legacy to be really fucking scared of this thing. So at least I have an attacker, even if it's not a great one. So on this next turn is where I really would love to just start drawing some form of like good tangible beef. If they cast this, I think I have to let it slide because I still want to hold up my Rattle Chains. If they cast something that costs 3 though, I can like cast, okay, so I guess I am going to just Rattle Chains here and hope they don't have a second Bone Crusher. If they have a second Bone Crusher, then I can get rid of Rattle Chains, and I suppose it is what it is. And it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen. Ooh, don't really want more of those, but it's what we got. So if they cast this, I think I no moralize it. If they cast this, then I draw a card, untap Portable Hole. Neither one of those plans is super terrible, but man, is our draw been bad. Beanstalk Giant. I think I actually do this in the somehow event that they actually miss a land drop. Is there any reason to do that? Or should I just draw a card instead? If I do this, they get up to 5. They can cast this. Yeah, let's see if this is going to be a thing. Oh, shit. All right. Still not the extra attacker I would have really loved, but okay. Questioning Druid. We do have the Portable Holes for that. And if they cast this Bone Crusher Giant, then so be it. Yeah, I'm going to read this. Oh, they're casting the Adventure half, so they can exile the top 2 cards of my deck and play those cards for basically forever. Okay, annoying. Don't love that for me. Supreme Phantom and a Spell Pierce? Could have used that last turn. So let's do this and attack for 2. You know I have the Portable Hole, so I'm still just going to get rid of the Druid now. And I can't really do much about this dragon right now. That sucks too. Yeah, this thing seems actually pretty gross. Lucky Clover sucks. Okay, I can't do anything about it. So if they're casting, oh, Murderous Rider. Okay, so they're gonna cast 1 on the Specs and 1 on the Supreme Phantom, and I'm gonna Spell Pierce the 1 on the Supreme Phantom, both so I can keep the Supreme Phantom, and so that they don't actually get this as a card. This is still fucking gross, but that's better than nothing. So I can cast, wait, let's just make sure the auto tapper doesn't fuck me up here. So I can get rid of Lucky Clover, cast this, and then cry about this dragon that I don't have a solution to. Another Murderous Rider. Okay, so they go down to 6. They can cast Bone Crusher Giant or just this as a lifelinker. Looks like they're going to cast that as a lifelinker. Spell Queller, you are late. You are late, my friend. I needed you earlier. I can finally Spell Queller this dragon, and that is what I'm going to do here. If they have something for the Spell Queller, then I don't know, so be it, I guess. If they attack, they go to 8. I don't do anything about that. Hopefully their last card here can't kill this. And hopefully these are not named like, I don't know, fucking Get Lost or anything. Invasion of Gobekhan is actually nice, kind of. What do you got? Alright, well, it is what it is. Attack here, you attack the face. Okay, so my Light Shield Array is actually just going to flip, which is nice, because now my Spell Queller is protected from their removal. I draw a card, I flip the thing, and it's immutable. Didn't really want that, but that could turn out to be false later. None of these are creature lands, which is nice. That doesn't actually help you too much, I believe. And they can attack and go to 9. That's whatever. Okay. And what do we got? Don't want that. I guess I'm just going to attack with all of these. You have to block. And I don't really give a shit if you want to trade your Bone Crusher for a token. Yeah, trade for a token, go to 2, and I get to choose between Hall of Storm Giant and Mutavault as far as attacks go. I like that for me. So what is this draw step? It's not good enough by itself. Oh, you're just looking for a land. You're not even casting the 100/100. Okay, I guess that makes sense. You can't do anything about this currently. But what the hell can you do with 4 mana? Okay, didn't think so. Nothing. Nothing was the answer to what can you do. That was scrappy. Do I change anything? I still think I like all the choices we made, so I will simply make them again. Okay, so we're on the draw this time. They took a mulligan, and our hand is at least like slightly acceptable. Mausoleum Wanderer and Rattlechains together are really good if they don't have a Lucky Clover on turn 2, so I think I'm going to give myself a chance to play that. And even if they do, I can still draw one of 4 portable holes off the top, so that's also not nothing. I'm going to play the Wanderer first though, because I still want to play around Bone Crusher Giant Stomp as much as possible. Okay, and is this Lucky Clover or is this a Stomp? It's a Virtue, which I will be getting rid of. I still, okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all, actually. So hopefully they can't get rid of this with, I don't know, like an Abrade or something, but I would love to filter away some of these lands, because I don't want all of these. Lovestruck Beast, okay, understood. Going to keep my eye Ganjo and play Specs as fuel for this Copter. Let's attack, and I will get rid of the Hallowed Fountain. No More Lies is actively excellent. And let's see if we can keep the pressure train going with my friend No More Lies here. Rockfall Veil happens. If they cast a 5/5, I'm just going to let them. Right, let's think about that. 5, they attack, 13, 12, 7. I can play something. Yeah, I think I'm actually supposed to do this and then untap knowing that I have double thing. Yeah. And if they like, I don't know, fucking Rending Valley this, then who cares? Invasion. Okay, that was not perfect, but really fucking close. So let's Invasion, see what they got. Dragon and Brotherhood's End. Okay, Dragon it is, because as it stands, I don't care about Brotherhood's End because I'm going to be flipping this into Light Shield Array. So let's do that. Okay, I want to get rid of Supreme Phantom, I guess. Flip this, and now we're feeling pretty good because I've got a 4/4 Copter coming up. They can Brotherhood's End on artifacts to get rid of Copter. If they do, then I'll be able to Rattlechains. Haha, nice. So we're just gonna do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and Rattlechains, put Rattlechains into play, use Rattlechains as fuel for the Copter, and then the Copter will be a creature so I can make it indestructible with the Light Shield Array. Thank you, opponent, for being so cooperative. They said nice, I'll say thanks. And now I'm just going to attack for 5. I don't even want to discard any of these cards. Both Spell Queller and No More Lies are pretty good here, and we'll pass. So if they just like play a land and cast a dragon, then I legitimately think I should just cast No More Lies rather than Spell Queller, because if they kill Spell Queller, then they get a 4/4 flying back, and I don't really think I can deal with that. So I'm actually just going to do that, keep my Spell Queller in hand, let them attack me for 1. They said good game, so I think that's going to seal it up. And it does. Nice. Okay, so now that our gameplay's over, we can see that this deck, you know, it has some really solid game against a little bit of everything, especially when decks are actively trying to be a lot more mid-rangey than previously and are trying to combat the creature decks that exist. Like, we beat up on both Mono Black Devotion and Mono Red Aggro so hard that they literally went and got cigarettes and quit playing the game altogether on us. And that's kind of insane when we go into a little 5-round stretch. We beat Vampires, which is right now the best / most played deck in all of Pioneer. It's like 21% of the Pioneer metagame. And we beat that, even though they got to fire on all cylinders, they did their thing. And yes, we did lose the game where they had double Vein Ripper, but it literally took both of those to do that. And even in that game where we did lose against Vampires, we navigated it so that they had to have exactly a Fatal Push when they did, and they happened to have exactly the Fatal Push when they did. So even that loss was like fine, and we still won the match. The 2 last rounds though, where we slogged through some mid-range piles, and both of those mid-range decks, the 4-color Valki deck that we saw and the Adventure deck, which was actually kind of sick, both of those decks got to actually do their things against us, right? Like, we saw things like Elder Gargs, we saw things like Valkis, we had the tools on hand in case Valki was going to try to transform into Tybalt. And yes, we lost against the Valki deck, but even that took the effort of 2 Elder Gargaroths, not even 1. And that was still like a really close match. So I'm pretty excited about just this deck being focused towards both what the top of the metagame is doing, as evidenced by our matchup against Vampires, and against the random shenanigans that you're going to fight when you're doing things like the ladders on Arena Ranked, which is what we did today, the MTGO queues when you're just doing your 5 matches of standard leagues and whatnot, or Pioneer leagues, and even things like challenges where you're going to face some amount of both really good decks and really off-the-wall decks. You can see this list, unlike a lot of other versions of Spirits did previously, had the tools to deal with all of that bullshit. So I'm really happy to present this deck to you as just something to be doing that gives you alternate things to do with spirits other than just here's a Curious Obsession, here's some snow-covered islands, and that's our one plan. This deck can really adapt itself to do almost anything within the realm of spirits possibilities, so I'm pretty hype about that. As for the new toy, Cryptic Coat, we saw Cryptic Coat come up actually pretty big in a couple of matches, and even in that one really scary game where we had to deal with like Shieldred plus double Elder Gargs, Cryptic Coat was almost enough to help get the job done. Like, had we seen a removal spell for that second copy of Elder Gargs, the Cryptic Coats were enough to get us through the finish line because we had exactly lethal until that second Elder Gargaroth came down. So like Cryptic Coat was definitely like a real all-star there, and we saw like it got thought seized a couple of times because like people were really scared of dealing with that thing. We saw the unblockable come up multiple times. So just like other Eternal formats, we can see Cryptic Coat is starting to look like the real deal, and I'm looking forward to playing with it more to see if this is going to be a mainstay in our sideboards or if it can even make its way to the main deck. Either way, this card definitely did the thing it was supposed to do, and it made me pretty happy to see it do the thing. Overall, fairly happy times. So that's going to be Midrange Spirits, and you let me know in the comments what you think of this version of the deck. Has it been something that you've played with or against previously? Have you seen this deck ever since its original inception back in December? And if so, do you like the changes? Like the multiple Catildas now that Vampires is a thing, obviously comes up pretty big. The invasion of Gobakons with the combination of Cryptic Coat makes for a really sick mid-range package. So which of these innovations to spirits is the most exciting to you? Let me know. But that's going to be it for today's video. If you like what you saw, as always, click like, let me know. Subscribe to the channel, especially if you're new here. We are almost at 2,000, and that's going to be pretty exciting when we hit that benchmark. But that's it for today, so I'll see y'all on the next one.